All right, what is that one thing? What I see is most important and just not happening in today's coaching environment is we must meet the client where she's at. What do I mean by that? I mean on three fronts. So first of all, nutritionally, we must meet the client where she's at. I see so many coaches and so many leaders handing out strategies like food plans or menu plans or recipes without even knowing about the person. Sure, they might ask, do you have allergies or do you like meat or whatever? But here's what I do is I have them take pictures of their meals for at least 2 days, and it doesn't exclude a weekend because they're usually different pictures and timing of their meals to send into me and my nutritionist so we can take a look at where she is at nutritionally, because I can't shift something successfully until we know where she's eating, what her likes are, what her preferences are. We get a picture of her metabolism by seeing the foods, the choices, the timing, where's her protein at, where's her carbs at, where's her fats at, because we have to bring these into proper portions and percentages for us 40 plus women, which is different than when we were 20 or 30. But I can't move it at a certain speed because it could be too much. So it really is about understanding where a woman's at. And if she's only eating once a day and then I try to get her to eat 4 times a day, it might be too much, guys. So we really have to find out where she's at and assess before we apply. And I see too many coaches just handing out, just finding out if they're vegan or carnivore or anything in between. It's not enough, guys. We have to get a full picture because that picture is also telling us how her metabolism is as well. So nutritionally, we have to meet the client where she's at. The other place we have to meet them where they're at is their training or exercise history. And I'm not talking what they did in high school. I'm talking about the last 5 years or even the last 18 months. What have you done for training? And it's really important because, yes, we have to find out about injuries, about limitations, sometimes certain medications. What kind of training is she doing? Is she on a HIIT? Is she on a double or triple split? Is she doing body isolation work? Is she doing circuit training? It all matters. Because if you're just saying, well, this is the thing that works for women our age and this is what you need to do, then you're not taking into account her body and her biology and her biochemistry and her musculoskeletal system, her cardiopulmonary system, all those things that we need to look at so that we can move her through to the place where her goals are. What are her goals? What does she want from her exercise program? I know some women that just want a different thing every day. And I'm like, okay, if that's what you want to do, they just want variety. So they've got a sport on this day and a sport on that day and lifting on that day and a different lifting on that day. And they're not about a bodybuilding lifestyle. They are about, I need variety and I need to move. And some of them are training 6 to 7 days a week. So you really have to know what are their goals, first of all, what are their expectations? So if they want awesome shape and tone and they're looking at somebody that looks like that in the magazine, then you got to build a program around that. And if you're a running coach, then you likely won't know about how to build a body that might want to go on stage in competition and vice versa. I don't teach runners. I run, but I am not well versed at it. So it really is important that we do meet the client where she's at, understand her expectations, but also we have to rein them in sometimes, okay? Because there are times when expectations, especially in our world with social media, some women think they can train for 18 months and stand up on stage and win that show. Now, can they? Possibly. However, there is a natural path, a natural course of action to the body where we can't rush certain things, or we're going to downgrade her recovery system, which is her immune system, which is her digestion, which is her ability to be able to continue on in a fashion that's going to allow her body to grow into what she wants instead of drawing away, because we're either giving to or drawing away from the body. And so we have to be realistic. I've had some women come to me and say, I want to look like that. And I'll look at what they're looking at. And that woman has been training for 30 years, guys. And I'm like, do you not know her? She was Miss Olympia 3 times over. Oh, I don't know who that is. But this booty exercise looks really good. Look at her butt. Of course, because she's been doing it for 3 decades, and she was a biathlon teacher for a long, long time. Or it might be somebody with a strong gymnastics background or a dance background. And so we have to be realistic with these women and meet them where they're at with their expectations, and we need to shine them up a little bit if need be. And then we can say, if this is what you want, this is what we're going to do. If this is what you want, this is our strategy. Might even say that's outside my scope. And that's okay too, right? Because it's all about the client. It's not about you as a coach and your abilities. It's about the client and what she wants. And you have to set her on a path of realistic expectations. So meet her where she's at. And then, of course, the third one is emotionally meet her where she's at. This is huge, guys. This is where my empowerment coaching skill set comes in every single weekly accountability meeting and check-in. Every time I do a Zoom call, there's always going to be the empowerment coaching piece. And the reason for that is because it works with emotions. And we need to know where she's resonating emotionally. And so there's this whole thing, the map of consciousness, where we go through the different vibrational frequencies of different emotions, right? So we know if a woman is resonating in shame and guilt and frustration and anger around her body, lack of progress, she hates aging, she's not feeling well, and yet she wants to build this amazing healthy body, we can't do that when we're resonating and all the energy is coming from an unhealthy place. So what we have to do, and this is where empowerment coaching is vital to my process anyways, is I have to come and lift them up so that their body and their spirit and their emotional capacity matches. Because if it doesn't, there's going to be resistance. There's going to be fall away. There's going to be lack of motivation, lack of willpower. Those are just disconnects with emotional integrity and emotional intelligence. That's all it is. And so understanding what drives her. Is there a drive for, this is another thing where we look at, is she a perfectionist? Perfectionists can be easy to train, but really hard on themselves. And they often have some of the most intense health challenges because they're go, 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 go. Their standards are so high. And if they don't reach it, rather than just partway being able to manage it, they go down the rabbit hole. I know that one well. I'm a recovering perfectionist. So all of these things are important. You've got to meet the client where she's at nutritionally and exercise-wise. What are her goals and expectations? And also, of course, emotionally is, I feel, the most important. Because if you don't have emotional awareness and emotional intelligence, and you can't build that strong foundation within the mindset, that's the foundation for the house. Then it's just a house on sand. And that perfect body, the perfect food plan, the perfect exercise plan will crumble because that's only 20%. The strategy piece is 20%. The 80% is the mindset. And that is not where we're cheerleaders. Oh, you can do it. Oh, come on, this is great. Because when we walk away, we take that with us. This is where it has to be internally driven, but it has to be taught because so many women are checked out from their emotional landscape. And the reason for that is just the very fact of being women and the societal expectations and the hits along the way. And we become the people pleaser and the good girl and the perfectionist and the busy bee and the fixer and all that stuff. All that stuff needs to be managed, validated, and allowed fresh air to reframe it into the power of who you are instead of being down, stuck in the lower feelings of, can I do this? I don't know if I can do this. I'm going to fail again. I messed up on my diet. What's the use? All that stuff has to go. It all has to be reframed so that we have a stronger belief system and an expanded self-identity with emotional intelligence driving the force. So I hope that helps. It's about meeting the client where she's at on all levels. And then she is a client who will be coachable and committed, and she will see results and success. And that's what every coach and every trainer wants. Okay, you guys, be well. Stay strong.